Any issues getting that equation in? Oh, sorry guys, it's plus 3. I know it looks like a division. It's plus 3. Okay. I know it's just copy grid. If you look at mine, it should look like that equation there. So it should be plus 3. So you don't change that. That should probably help you. Yeah, that changes things some. Should be a plus 3. Anybody need my help on it? Okay. The question says, what is the minimum value of the function? Minimum value. So are they asking for a point? No, they're asking for what value? X or Y? Y. They want the Y value of the lowest point. So if we look at our graph, okay, if you click on that point, it should show up for you. Desmos is kind of nice like that. You can click on the point and it'll show up. What is the Y value there? What's the Y value? 3. Okay, I'm not asking for the point, right? I'm asking for the value. So the value is 3. The lowest value is 3. Okay, look at the graph to the right. It's a different graph, but what's the maximum value? What's this maximum value? 3. We want Y, right? The Y value, 1, 2, 3. Maximum value of 3. Some of you might be thinking, why? How do they have the same value? Well, they're different graphs. One graph was the first one, okay, and it had a minimum. This one has a maximum, so they're just different graphs. Okay, that's why they have the same value. All right, probably one of my favorite features of Desmos, okay, is the fact that you can get any point that you want on a graph in like 2 seconds. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is go ahead and go into Desmos, and you're going to type in this equation. So I just delete what you have and put this equation in right here. This is the one that's going to go in Desmos. Okay, that's what it should look like. Yours may be zoomed in or out, okay, but roughly that's what it should look like. Any issues putting that in? Okay, so it says in part B, oh no, sorry, we fill in the table. Okay, here's how we're going to fill in our table. Go ahead and go to the next line, line 2. Yep. Anybody remember how to get a table? You remember? We did it once. Yeah, the little add button up here, the plus sign, and then choose table. You okay, Hannah? All right, now you're going to go into X. Okay, we don't want X1. So where this says X1, go ahead and delete the 1 that's behind that X. Get rid of that. We just want X by We just want X by itself, and we don't want Y. How have we written Y this time? Instead of having Y, we have f of x. So go ahead and put f of x in there. That's what it should look like. Now, taking a look at your table on your notes. Oopsie. Okay. Our first x value is -3. So go ahead and enter -3. Okay, what do you notice? Yeah, it tells you the y value. Now here's what's cool. Hit enter and then type in -2 and then hit enter a few more times. It'll just keep adding the numbers for you. Pretty cool, right? Go ahead and fill in your table. So fill in that table on your notes. Yes. So I already set right here. See how you have just x here? That says x1. You have to delete that 1. So if you go there, go ahead and delete the 1. Now it should show. So type in, oh, you put an x in there by accident. Just x, like that. Right, there you go. There you go. Okay, questions? And again. equation. Yeah, so now if you would just put in negative 7. Oh, and then if you just you never put in the equation. You have to put in the equation for the first one. Yeah. If you would move it English, that's nicer.
Interesting.
But what we're doing is if you have here, it's below the function, we put this function in, and then we did the table. Okay, so next question. Where does the graph cross the x-axis? Show me with your arm where the x-axis is at. Yes, this way, okay? It crosses right here. You can click on those points. Maybe. Mine's active here. All right, click on those points, and they should show up. What is the y value of both of those points? Max? 0. Okay, so over here, when y is 0, that's when we have our x-intercept. So go ahead and fill those in on that line. We have -1, 0, and 4, 0. Where does the graph cross the y-axis? Okay, well, before we even answer that, what's x going to be? What's x going to be on our y-axis? Think about the x value on the y-axis. Right here, okay, what's x? 0. Okay, anytime we're looking for a y-intercept, x is going to be 0. So if we go back to our Desmos, okay, if we look right here, you can tap that point, crosses the y-axis at 0, -4. Okay, does our graph have a minimum or a maximum? Say it aloud. Minimum. Yeah, it has a low point. It's a minimum. Okay, if you click on, it's kind of hard to see. You kind of have to zoom in, but Desmos will let you click on that minimum so that you can write it down. Okay, so if you zoom in a little bit and click on it, it should show up for you. And the purpose of this being a decimal is to show you that no matter what kind of ugly numbers you may have, Desmos will still show you what it is, which is really cool. Okay, you won't have to try to find that on your own. You can just plug it into Desmos, click it, and it'll tell you what it is. Okay, why is there no maximum on this graph? If we were to graph it, right, which I know I have not done in here. Let's go back to my actual graph. Okay, why is there no maximum on this graph? It does have a minimum point. We're asking why it doesn't have a maximum. Chloe, why doesn't it have a maximum? Because it keeps going. Like this never ends. Like if I keep going like this, these lines will never end. Right? So, okay, because those lines never end, there can never be a maximum. We can't pick out a point that's a maximum. Okay? So, you could say something to that matter. Okay? The lines keep going. Okay? There's no end point that we can pick out on that graph. They just keep going up. Okay, I want you to try exercise 5. You're going to put in that new equation. Okay, fill in the table. Now, when you do it, okay, you do not have to erase everything. All you have to do is just adjust your equation and your table will fix itself, which is awesome. Okay, so go ahead and just adjust your equation. And everything else will adjust for you. And see if you can fill in the table and then those few questions there. A through E. Yeah. And check yourself up here once you have those done. Okay, the last three, C, D, and E, use Desmos to help you with those. Any questions? All right, real quick, I'm just going to run through the questions. Okay, so I went ahead and filled my table based on Desmos, roughly graphed it based on my table. What is the y-intercept? Y-intercept right here where it crosses the y-axis at 0, 0. Okay, and then if you look at the x-intercepts, there are three. There are 3 times that that graph pierces the x-axis. Okay, there's no minimum maximum values, no minimum or maximum values, because the lines are opposite, going opposite ways, and they go on forever. So just like the last question where they went up forever, these go opposite directions for forever, so there's no minimum or maximum. Does anybody think that, wait a second, isn't there actually a minimum or maximum? Like, aren't these points mins and maxes? Did anybody think about that? No? Okay. My last class, people did. They were kind of mad at me. They're like, no, there's min and max. Here's the deal. We have different kinds of minimums and maximums. We have absolute minimum maximum, which means the whole graph, or we have something called local. Put your phones away, okay? Put your phones away for right now. Just don't look good for right now, okay? Talking to you. Local means ones that you can see on the graph, okay? Here, we can see a minimum maximum that's local, but we're going to talk about those later in the year. For right now, we're just going to focus on overall a minimum and a max. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Let's keep moving here. We're almost done. Okay? How else could Desmos help us? Go ahead and enter this function. And you don't need your table, so you can get rid of the table. Go ahead and put in this new function. Okay, once you get it in there, it says click on the gray dots to identify the x-intercepts. So if you look at your gray dots, you can click on those, and they should show up, and you can write those down. They are decimals, okay, but it's nice. Desmos will tell you what they are. So go ahead and write those down under that first bullet point. Those are the x-intercepts. Okay, the y-intercept, okay, if you look at where it crosses the y-axis, that's also on there. Now, if you don't see it on your graph, you may have to zoom in or out to find that, okay? But you still should be able to see where it crosses the y-axis. Two x-intercepts and one y-intercept. Any questions on finding those? Okay, zoom out and click on the gray dot to find the minimum value. So there is a minimum value here, but you have to zoom out to be able to find that. Okay, it's all the way down here. If you zoom, 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 okay, you should be able to find that. Okay, on the line it says find the minimum value. What's the minimum value? We don't want the point, we want the value. What's the value? The x or y? Y. So if you look right here, the value is negative 16.438. Below that, it says write it as an ordered pair. So the ordered pair is what you click on and see on Desmos. 2.5, comma, negative 16.438. So that's the ordered pair. The value is that y. The ordered pair is what shows up on Desmos. Okay, questions for me. All right, one left. We're going to do it. Example 7. Example 7. So you're going to go ahead and edit your function. It says on example 7, 2x minus 91. So you're going to change that to 2x minus 91. I have one more thing to show you about Desmos and what it'll do for you. Okay, so it says type that in, and then directly below it, you're going to type in f of negative 4. What shows up? What do you see? What do you see? Yeah, right here. It tells you what f of negative 4 is. It's negative 99. Huh? It solves it for you. Pretty awesome. It doesn't matter what number you put in there. So you could change it to 1. You could change it to 10. You could change it to negative 100. It'll tell you what it is. So not only can you do a table of values, you can just find one value at a time if you want to. Okay? So go ahead and fill that in here on your notes. So f of negative 4 is negative 99. But what if we have a y value? Okay, what if it's something like f of x equals 1? Well, guess what? We can change this, delete it, put an x in there, okay, tell Desmos f of x equals 1. It's going to draw a line for you. Okay, now I can't even see my graph right now, so I'm going to zoom out. There it is. Okay, so now you can see your actual line with the x equals 1. On your notes it says, look at where the graphs intersect and click on that point. Okay, they intersect at 46, 1. You're looking for the x value. So you're going to put an x equals 46. Okay, let's go ahead and do that last one. So go ahead and go into Desmos, change your function to negative x squared plus 5. and we're trying to find f of 0, so go ahead and plug that in, and it should give you the answer. Everybody getting 5 on that one? If not, you need to go back and check your equation. Okay, so f of 0 should be 5, and then you can edit that and type in -1, and it'll give you that next answer, which should be 4. And I'm sure that you're probably good on that, but I really want to focus on that f of x equals -4. Okay, so I'm going to jump to that here. So type in f of x equals -4. Okay, how many times does that -4 line cross our graph? Twice. Okay, if you click on those intersections, it's going to tell you what x values show up there. -3 and 3. -3 and 3 for that last one. Okay, I know it's been a long day. See if you can start on the practice. Okay, get started on the practice. I'll give you a little bit of time tomorrow. Okay, but go ahead and get started on that practice. The answers are on the very back of the box.